of the Storm, a book about hurricanes by Rick Thomas, illustrated by Denise Shea. A warm, gentle breeze blows. Low waves roll up on the beach. Their foamy white edges splash on the sand. Giant early morning clouds glow pink, red, and gold. Far, far out on the ocean, a hurricane is growing. Tropical storms. Millions of water droplets fill the Atlantic Ocean. Warm tropical sunlight heats the water. The water rises into the air as vapor. Rain clouds quickly become tropical thunderstorms. Then the storms drift apart. Tropical storms are the beginning of a hurricane. Hurricanes keep growing. They are fed by warm, spinning air and an endless supply of water from the ocean. Hurricane. In the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, small tropical disturbances race above the equator. The warm air near the equator rises and dips and moves in circles. When a storm gets caught in the spinning air, it grows larger and stronger. Dark clouds appear. They are pulled into the storm's twisting winds like bath water sucked into a drain. More thunderclouds gather and grow. They crash and cluster together. These thunderclouds form a single supersized system of storms. When its winds reach a speed of 74 miles per hour, weather watchers call the storm a hurricane. Moving walls of wind. The sky grows black above the ocean. The massive group of thunderstorms flings out a powerful wall of wind. The storm wind pushes wave after rushing wave toward faraway shores. And though a hurricane spins, its fierce winds blow in one direction. The hurricane moves slowly away from where it was born. Winds move the hurricane toward land. Storm signs. In the sky, the golden clouds have dissolved into one huge curtain of dark gray. The winds begin to blow harder. The waves hit the sand faster. That means the hurricane is closer. No birds chatter or sing. They flew away days ago. Growing breezes warn them of the storm. Many people flee inland to escape the hurricane. For people on tropical islands, it is harder to leave. Landfall. The next day, the hurricane comes ashore. Once a hurricane makes landfall or arrives on solid ground, it slows down. There is no deep ocean water below the storm to keep feeding it. But an island cannot stop a hurricane. Too much water surrounds the small piece of land. Mighty winds whip the trees. High waves race up the shore. The storm rips roofs off houses and tips over cars. Power cables snap. Boats are lifted from the shore and crash inland. Eye of the hurricane. A hurricane rages for hours and hours. The storm grows louder and louder. It rains harder and harder. Suddenly, the angry howling stops. Outside, nothing moves. Straight up in the sky, a patch of stars is surrounded by thick darkness. This is the center of the storm, the eye of the hurricane, as it passes over the land. The peace and calm will last for only a few minutes. Then the storm will rage as strongly as before. But during the second half of the storm, the winds will come from the opposite direction. Storm surge. Both the wind and the water are very damaging. During the storm, rain falls in heavy sheets. Also, the winds shove a huge wall of water onto shore. The wall, called a storm surge, can rise higher than a 2-story house. A powerful surge can sweep away cars, buildings, and people. Once the hurricane is past, the winds die down. The clouds grow lighter, but the flood and damage remain.
After the storm, pale green clouds cover the sky. Throughout the neighborhood, roofs are missing, trees are tipped over, wet leaves are plastered onto the windows and walls. Streets are covered with water, broken glass, and sparkling power lines. But the hurricane is over. The birds are flying back. Okay, boys and girls, so we have finished this book. Now we're going to test on it. Question number 1 says, what happens when sunlight heats the tropical water of the Atlantic Ocean? It becomes heavier and more dense. The water rises into air as vapor. The tides grow weaker and smaller in height. Several small wind pools of water begin to form. Think about it for a minute. Yes, letter B. Yes, guys, the answer is letter B. The water rises into the air as vapor. Question number 2. When a storm gets caught in the spinning air above the equator, it A. spins apart into weaker tropical breeze, B. collapses in upon itself, C. heads out away from land, or D. grows larger and stronger. Think about it for a minute. Yes, boys and girls, the answer is letter D. They grow larger and stronger. Question number 3. When a hurricane makes landfall, it A. forms a jet stream, B. sinks lower into the sky, C. heats up, or D. slows down. Yes, boys and girls, it is letter D. A hurricane, when a hurricane makes landfall, it slows down. Now question number 4. What change takes place during the second half of the hurricane? A. The rain becomes colder and turns into hail. B. The winds come from the opposite direction. C. The eye of the hurricane grows smaller and smaller until it disappears, or D. The eye of the hurricane splits into 2 parts. The answer is letter B. The winds come from the opposite direction. And now number 5. What is storm surge? A. A storm that disrupts the flow of the Gulf Stream. B. A sudden and powerful release of electricity from low-lying clouds. C. A huge wall of water that shoves onto shore. Or D. A thin stream of clouds that follow along behind a hurricane. Yes, boys and girls, the answer is letter C. A huge wall of water that shoves onto shore. So how much did you like the book? 3 stars? It was very good. I think it was very educating. And let's see what we got. So we got 100. Yay! Awesome job. Thank you so much, boys and girls.